Hi everyone, welcome back to the English class. Today we're going to talk about famous monuments. We've got reading and listening. You can see two pictures on the screen. Do you know the famous monuments that are on the screen? And where are they? So the first one is Big Ben and the second one is the Statue of Liberty. We're going to read the stories for Big Ben and the Statue of Liberty. But first, take the reading tip. Scan for specific information. So you do not have to read from the start to finish. Just scan for the most important information that you think they are important, like name or a place or a number or a date, and you just have the idea about the whole story. Let's start with Big Ben. You probably recognize Big Ben, the clock tower at one end of the Houses of Parliament in London. It's London's most famous monument, but perhaps you don't know Big Ben's real name, the Elizabeth Tower. Big Ben dates from 1859. The tower is 96 meters high. There are 334 stairs in it, but tourists don't go inside the tower or climb to the top. There are 4 clock faces and each face is 7 meters in diameter. The minute hands are 4.2 meters long and weigh about 100 kilos. The bell weighs about 13,760 kilos. Big Ben looks amazing at night because there are lights on the clock faces. On 31st December every year, New Year's Eve, TV stations in the UK show pictures of Big Ben at midnight. And all over the country, people listen to the 12 chimes of the bell when the old year ends. So this is the story of Big Ben. We'll start with the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor is the work of the French designer Frederic Auguste Bartholdi. The present from the people of France to the USA in 1886 is the most famous monument in the USA. Every year, millions of tourists take a boat trip to Liberty Island to see it. It's the only way to get there. This huge statue weighs 204,000 kilos. 12 people can stand in the torch and 40 can stand in the head. Here are some more amazing facts about the statue. The statue is 46 meters high. The monument from the ground to the top of the torch, 93 meters high. The left eye, 0.76 meters wide. The nose, 1.48 meters long. The mouth, 0.91 meters wide. And the right arm, 12.8 meters long. So these are kind of brief short information, important information about the Statue of Liberty. Now we will continue with the sentences. Let's answer with true, false, or doesn't say. All of them are about the story of Big Ben and the Statue of Liberty. Let's start with the first one. Big Ben's other name is the Queen's Tower. This is false. The second, the minute hands weigh 1,000 kilos. Is that true or false? What do you think? It's false. The hour hands are 3.2 meters long. We do not have this information in the stories. so doesn't say. The Statue of Liberty stands on an island. Is that true or false, or it doesn't say in the stories? It's true. The fifth one. You can drive to the Statue of Liberty. Is that true or false, or doesn't say? False. As long as it's in an island, then you cannot drive. And the last one, people can stand in the Statue of Liberty's nose. Is that true or false? Doesn't say. Okay, again, the statements about the stories. Let's choose which one goes with each sentence. You have the parts in bold. Choose one of them. For example, to the first one, choose Big Ben or the Statue of Liberty. So, Frederick Auguste Bartholdi is the name of the designer of Big Ben or the Statue of Liberty. What do you think? The Statue of Liberty. Second, the face of the Statue of Liberty or Big Ben's clock is 7 meters across. So which one? The face or Big Ben's clock? Big Ben's clock. The third, the hands of the clock or the hands of the statue weigh about 100 kilos. The clock. The Statue of Liberty or Big Ben's bell weigh 204,000 kilos. The Statue of Liberty. There are 334 stairs in the Statue of Liberty or Big Ben. Big Ben. The sixth one, Big Ben's or the Statue of Liberty's other name is the Elizabeth Tower. It's Big Ben's. And the last one, 12 people can stand at the top of Big Ben or the Statue of Liberty. Which one? The Statue of Liberty. Let's continue with the Empire State Building. While you will listen to another story, you're going to complete the gaps from the first one to the 10th one.
Here we are in the middle of New York on the corner of 5th Avenue and West 34th Street. And yes, the building in front of you is the Empire State Building. I'm sure you recognize it. It's in a lot of films. Probably the most famous film with the Empire State Building in it is the first King Kong film from 1933. Anyway, let's look at this beautiful building by designer William Lamb. Yes, that really is his name, William Lamb. Lamb like the animal. The date of this building is 1931. Okay, everyone? 1931. It's got 102 floors. Yes, 102, so it's not a good idea to use the stairs. There really are a lot of stairs. I'm not sure how many, but I know how many windows there are. Who's going to guess how many windows? Well, it's got 6,514 windows. Yes, really, 6,514. The building from the ground to the top of the tower is 443 meters high. So at 443 meters, it isn't the highest building in New York, but it's still very high. And believe me, the view from the top is awesome. The Empire State Building is open every day of the year, from 8 in the morning to 2 in the morning. That's right, from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. 365 days a year. And guess how many visitors come here every year? 4 million. Yes, This beautiful building gets 4 million visitors a year. Let's go inside now and take the lift. There are 73 lifts. Yes, really, 73 lifts. So it's going to be difficult to choose.
Okay, so now you have the words on the gaps or the numbers. Let's start from the beginning. The Empire State Building. It's on the corner of 5th Avenue and West 34th Street. The designer's name is William. What's his surname? Lamb. The date of the building is 1931. There are how many floors? 102 floors. And there are how many windows? 6,514 windows. The building is how high? 443 meters high. It's open every day from what time? 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. And there are how many visitors a year? 4 million visitors a year. And the last information is there are how many lifts? 73 lifts. Now we will continue with the last part with the new words that you had from the two stories about Big Ben and the Statue of Liberty. It's recognize, tower, monument, diameter, bell, chime, statue, harbor, designer, and torch. The first one, recognize, is to know who or what something is because you have seen, heard about them in the past. Tower, a narrow building, either built on its own or forming part of a castle. Monument, a very old building or place that is important historically. Diameter, the straight line from one side of the circle to the other. Bell, a piece of electrical equipment that makes a ring sound, not necessarily electrical. Chime, if a bell of clock chimes, it makes ringing sound to tell you what time is it. Statue, an image of a person or animal made in solid material. Harbor, an area of calm water next to the land where boats arrive and leave. Designer, someone whose job is to design. Torch, a small electrical lamp that you carry in your hand. So this is all about famous monuments and reading and listening parts. And as homework, you're going to write information for a leaflet about a famous monument or building in your town or country. Try to answer the questions that you can see on the screen, like where is it, what's it called, what's the date of it, what's the name of the designer, how high or long is it, how many visitors visit it every year, and when is it open, or other information that you might add. This is all for today. See you in the next class.